In this lesson, you'll learn how to create a graphic still life painting using one-point perspective, simple drawing formulas, and strong color choices. Start by preparing your surface and applying a thin and even layer of gesso over thick paper. This is going to seal the surface and keep the paint from soaking in. Once it is completely dry, lightly sand the surface using a 220 grit sandpaper. This will give you a smooth finish so that your paint goes on clean and even. To begin drawing, measure 6 inches up from the bottom in 2 places. We're going to be connecting those points to create your horizon line. This will represent your eye level. Next, mark 1-inch intervals across the top of your paper. And repeat those same 1-inch marks along the horizon line. Now, connect each mark from the top of the page down to the matching mark on the horizon line. These will become your vertical stripes. Measure 2 inches up from the bottom in 2 places and connect those points to create your table line. Find the center stripe and place your vanishing point halfway across. Mark it with an X. Now connect each mark on the horizon line to the vanishing point, and then extend those lines down to the table line. From each point on the table line, draw straight lines down to the bottom of the page. This will create the illusion of a surface in perspective. Now, let's draw the vase. Find the table line and the center vertical stripe. Mark 7 inches parting from our table line and using our center line as a guide. So that's our 1 inch, and it should go all the way to 7 inches from the top. Our vase should be about 6 inches tall. Now we're going to be using our vase skeleton. We're going to draw a horizontal line at the top and at the bottom of both of our marks. Now, the vertical middle line will tell you how tall your vase is going to be, and the middle horizontal line is going to tell you the shape or width, how wide your vase is going to be. I will be placing my width guide a little closer to the top. Now you're going to want to create the lip of the top of your vase, and you were going to connect that lip by drawing curved lines, symmetrical curved lines, and connecting them to our bottom line. We're going to widen our bottom a little bit to create our base. And then we're going to try to create the same curves to connect our top to our bottom. Erase any background lines inside of our vase. Now we move into the composition of our flower arrangement. We are going to be choosing 3 different types of flowers from your practice sketches. Start with the largest shapes first to establish the size and placement. Keep your lines light so that you can adjust and erase as needed. I tend to hold my pencil high up so that I can purposefully draw lightly. This helps keep my marks very soft. Fill the space with bold, simple flowers. Do not overcomplicate the details. Add large leaves to balance the composition. Now we need to start outlining. We're going to want to begin outlining our flower shapes. When we have done outlining all of our flowers, it's best to do our leaves, followed by the vase. The last part of our drawing that we want to outline will be the stripes from the background and table and front of the table. After our background lines have dried, you are going to want to erase all of your pencil lines to make your drawing ready for our next step, which is painting. We're going to begin painting our background or wall stripes. We apply color using temperature contrast. I chose cool turquoise for the background stripes. And so I'm going to use a dark value for one of the stripes and a light turquoise value for the other stripe. So it's going to be dark turquoise, light turquoise, dark turquoise, light turquoise. Notice that the bottom of the table, which has straight stripes, will also have the same colors as the background stripes. For the table, I used the same color family, but adjusted the values slightly in order to help separate the wall from the surface. I used the dark for my background, was not used for the table. I actually used the light stripe from the background. That became my dark stripe on the table, and my lightest value on the table, I added a little bit of light to the original light turquoise that I had for the top. Paint the vase using a very light tint. That means that you need to add more white than color. For the shadow, I mixed a small amount of the gray into the same color that I applied for the vase. Do the shadow just on one side of your vase and underneath your leaves and flowers touching the vase. Because my background is cool, I chose warm colors for the flowers. I suggest that you only use 3 colors for your flowers. Don't add too many colors because then it makes it a little bit more messy for our purposes. I used yellow, red, and orange. And then in order to create contrast, vary the centers of your flowers. So for my red flower, I used yellow in the middle. For my yellow flowers, I used a little bit of red on the tips of the flowers. And then in the middle of my orange flowers, I also used a little bit of yellow. For the leaves, use only 2 values of green, light green and dark green. This will keep your painting clean and cohesive. You decide what you want to make light and what you want to paint dark green. We are ready for the last step, which is our final outline. We're going to wait for everything to be dry, and then we're going to go back in and reinforce our black outlines. This step is going to sharpen the graphic style of our painting and will bring everything together. And that's it. A structured, high contrast still life built with perspective, color theory, and clean design. Don't forget to sign your painting on the bottom